Are these the ultimate in gaming headsets? Well, these are the Steelseries Arctis Pro Wireless and ARCTIS Pro Plus GAMEDAC. These are definitely high-end, definitely premium headsets, so let's take a look at them. Since I'm taking a look at both of these headsets, let's do a rundown of each one of them in terms of what you get in the box and the general sort of I/O and connectivity and all this sort of stuff, the main features that each headset has. Starting off with the cheaper of the two options, the Plus GAMEDAC. This is a wired headset. You can kind of compare this to the ARCTIS 5 if you like, whereas the wireless is more like the ARCTIS 7, although they do definitely have some differences, so let's go through them. First things first, the Plus GAMEDAC actually has a GAMEDAC. It's an external unit that will sit on your desk, has a fairly large dial and an OLED display with a pretty comprehensive UI that allows you to change from the basic things like your volume and your chat mix, which is a Steelseries offering that allows you to have your chat through one channel and your game audio through another, so you can change the mix of the two quite easily. You also have things like custom equalizers or even just preset equalizers. For depending on what you're kind of using. There's also a lot of other options, including things like the RGB headset, the LEDs on the side of the headset, or even the RGB mic mute switch, or the LED that shows you your mic is muted. You can switch that to rainbow if you like as well, although you can control a lot of that in the SteelSeries engine software too. On the back of the GAMEDAC, you have your micro USB to your either PS4 or PC, your optical in, which is generally going to be used for, again, if you're using a PS4, and you also have a line out if you want to connect to your speakers or anything else, and you have a mobile in, so if you want to have, say, music, or even for example if you're using a PS4, you can have your mobile connected to this and use something like Discord on your mobile, while obviously still having the game audio coming through your the headset itself. On the left hand side of the GAMEDAC, you also have their proprietary 8-pin connector, which is actually pretty interesting. It allows them to send both analog and digital signals over the same wire, so I was really impressed to hear that on my sort of Skype interview with one of the lead audio engineers that worked on these headsets. So the headset itself has a few more improved materials, including some aluminium and a steel headband, so that's pretty nice. Certainly a very premium feel to them overall. They do have some sort of plastic yet also magnetic backs, which allow you to expose the sort of slightly artistic design and the RGB LEDs that are also in there. On the bottom of the, I think it's left hand side ear cup, you have the proprietary 8-pin connector in. You also have the 3.5mm jack out, which you can use either input or output if you want to use their sort of, I can't remember the marketing name, but you can connect to another headset so that your friend or your partner or whoever who's with you can also hear what you hear through the headsets. You also have a scroll wheel for your volume and a tactile mic mute switch, and of course you have the retractable microphone as well, which is always nice to see. Moving on to the ARCTIS Pro Wireless, this is, as I said, kind of the ARCTIS 7 competitor if you like, although obviously certainly a fair bit more high-end. Now the headset itself features pretty similar I/O to the Plus GAMEDAC, with really the only exception being that the scroll wheel actually has a center click so that you can navigate a lot of the menu system wirelessly, which is quite nice, and it also has a micro USB port as well if you want to charge the headset directly, rather than, and this is the very impressive thing, in the right ear cup behind the removable plates you'll find a removable battery, which is something that we've seen in the Siberia I think H800 and H840 headsets, but this is really nice to see. Now you may be thinking, cool, it has a removable battery, that's nice to see. So what? Well, the really nice thing is if you take a look at the receiver, obviously it has a fairly similar design to the Plus GAMEDAC, where you have a dial in the front and an OLED display, so you can change a lot of your sort of settings from volume and chat mix to all the way through to equalizers and that sort of stuff, which is very nice to see. But if you look at the right hand side, if you're looking at it from the front, you'll see that there is a battery charging slot. Now this headset does come with 2 batteries included, which is really nice and kind of expected for the price point it's at, but either way it's still very nice to see. It means that when you're gaming and your headset gets low, all you have to do is pull the battery out of the headsets, pull the battery that's in the receiver out of it, swap them over, and there you go, you're back gaming with full battery in your headset. It's a little bit of a pain with something like the Corsair Void Pro Wireless, which is something that I use on a day-to-day basis, where occasionally if you forget to charge it, especially even if you're doing extended gaming sessions, it can be a little bit of a pain to have to plug it in either to your PC and then be tethered to your PC while still having a wireless headset, or connect to, say, a portable battery bank and then knock it off the table every 5 minutes and either yank your head off or yank the cable out. So this is a really nice kind of way of going about it. On the back of the wireless base station, you have from left to right, let's say, you have the line in and line out, which again are fairly similar to the GameDAC if you want to connect up your speakers or have a other device plugged into this and passing audio through to the headset. That's definitely nice to see. You do have a DC jack. It is 5 volts, it's just USB power, but it's an optional one if you want to always be able to charge any batteries that are in this while, say, your console or your PC are turned off, which is a nice option. You also have mini USB as opposed to micro on the GameDAC. Not too sure why they're different, but they are, so it doesn't really matter. And then you have optical in and optical out, which is actually a really nice feature, especially if, again, you are using, say, a PS4, which is something that they were very keen to talk about in their Skype interview with me, and in their press materials as well, actually. But if you're using that, you can have your audio passed out as well to your speakers or whatever else. So that's quite nice to see too. Now, one of the key things with the headsets, and especially the Plus GameDAC, is that it has the high-res audio specification. Now, this means that it is in a relatively rare class of headsets, especially headsets as opposed to headphones, that actually have this specification and have it not just for the DAC but also for the headphones themselves, which is quite cool to see. The high-res specification basically means that the headset can accurately produce sounds up to 40,000 hertz, which is about double the average hearing range. I think the top out is meant to be about 20,000 hertz, but either way, the benefit of having that is mostly just that the system itself is so clear and so crisp, if you like, and it introduces so little noise that it can physically hit that specification pretty easily. Now, both of these headsets have new and uprated drivers in them compared to the standard ARCTIS 753 lineup, which is quite nice to see, although I think they have the same microphone, but it's still really very impressive and definitely nice to have a pretty clear microphone on your headset, whether it's for gaming or anything else. But as I said, it's a very nice audio experience. Now, could I personally tell the difference between my, say, Corsair Void Pro Wireless and the ARCTIS Pro Wireless? Well, I'm not really an audiophile. I'm not someone who necessarily, maybe I just haven't experienced, enough beautiful headsets to really understand it properly, but it's not something that I can really, without doing proper, specific testing to see does this sound better in this specific use case. It's not something that I noticed while I was gaming with either of the headsets, even on Rainbow Six Siege, which is one of the games that they list as having high-res audio built into them. It's not something that I noticed in listening to music with them or watching films and TV and YouTube with them. So your mileage may vary. If you are someone who enjoys high-end headsets, I think you will definitely enjoy these, but if you're an average consumer who can't tell the difference, kind of like me, then you may not notice a massive difference. Now, when it comes to pricing, these headsets are pretty expensive. These are definitely in the premium category of things, and I kind of want to make that clear. This is meant to be a step above all of their other headsets. This isn't a replacement for the ARCTIS 7s and 5s. This is a full another class above, and that's why the ARCTIS Pro Plus GameDAC is a $250 headset, and the ARCTIS Pro Wireless is a $350 headset. It isn't cheap. It's fairly similar and fairly comparable to their Siberia H800 and H840 headsets, which have been around for a fair while and have a lot of similar features to the ARCTIS Pro Wireless, but obviously with this one they've had a redesign of both the headphone drivers, obviously the great quality microphone, and the overall style and design of the actual headset itself. Just to touch a little bit more on the ARCTIS Pro Wireless, it's something that I actually tested a fair bit because I'm generally someone who uses wireless headsets, especially while gaming. And the really impressive thing for me here is, first of all, it uses the 2.4 gigahertz wireless band as its main connection, especially to the base station. And the actual connection there was incredibly impressive. I was able to walk from my office, which is the front of the house, to the kitchen all the way at the back of the house and have perfect audio with no dropouts, where my Corsair Void Pro wireless and basically any Bluetooth device ever will immediately or very quickly drop out. And yeah, it's just really impressive considering how much of a Faraday cage this house is. And on top of that 2.4 gigahertz connection, you actually have a secondary Bluetooth connection as well. So if you are, say, using this again with a PS4 or even an Xbox One, you can also connect your mobile device via Bluetooth at the same time as being connected to the base station to whatever device you want. And then you can have, say, you can control your music through your phone or your communications, whether that's through Discord or whatever else, through your mobile device, as well as also hearing your in-game audio, which is really, really nice to have. So when it comes down to it, are these really worth your money? Or are they the ultimate gaming headsets, and are they something that I recommend? Well, that's kind of an interesting one. If you are a console player, especially a PS4 player, which is, as I said, something that they seem to be fairly heavily focused on here. Personally, I'm not in that demographic, so I would love to hear from you if you are a PS4 or even an Xbox One player and who would be looking to get these headsets. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below about these, especially considering especially the wireless model, which is more focused on the sort of living room experience, if you like. That is basically the price of the console itself, so I'd really love to hear your thoughts down below. With that said, they are a fantastic audio experience, they have a great mic and a lot of functionality available. They're still very interesting headsets. I feel like the price is really in a category of its own. I mean, I feel the ARCTIS Pro Wireless is now the most expensive headset in this house right now. The closest one I have is the Blue Lola headphones, which are some really nice headphones. But obviously they're generally designed for more mobile use and that sort of thing, so you have limited effects with how well the DAC in your phone works. So again, that's probably more comparable in price and in functionality to the Plus GameDAC model. And in my experience, I would say that the audio quality is pretty similar between them, which is very nice to say. But of course, I don't have experience with, say, a nice $350 range sort of Sennheiser headset or whatever. So if you do have experience of those, and especially if you end up picking one of these up, I'd love to hear your thoughts and a comparison in the comments down below too. Jumping into scoring, for me, I think with the value for money score on both of these headsets is probably going to be fairly low. These have awesome functionality and they have some incredible sound signatures to go with them, but of course when you're looking at specifically value for money, is this headset or either of these headsets really that much better value for your money than even a relatively basic gaming headset, or even a sort of, I suppose, nice level one of something HyperX Cloud 2s or something, which are a third of the price, give or take, depending on which one you're looking at. So for me personally, I think that's why it's going to be, for both of these headsets, somewhere around a 3.5 area. I will score both of these separately, so starting with the Plus GameDAC, that's going to be a 3.5. In terms of the performance, it has to be a 5. And functionality, I'm going to go with a 4.5 here in general. In terms of the styling, I actually do quite like the look of these, so I'm going to go with a 5 here. And in terms of TechteamGB score, it's going to be a 5 and a Gold Award. Taking a look at the wireless, I think these are, again, probably going to be, actually because of the price, a 3 here, but in terms of performance, it has to be a 5. In terms of functionality, I was really impressed with all of the kit that this has available, with the dual Bluetooth and 2.4 gigahertz, the replaceable batteries, and all that sort of stuff, so it has to be a 5 here. In terms of styling, it's pretty similar, just less RGB, which some may say is nicer, but I'm going to go with a 4. And in terms of TechteamGB score, it's going to be a 5, and again, a Gold Award. These are both incredibly impressive headsets, and if you're someone who really enjoys good quality audio, I think you will really enjoy these. You just have to pay a pretty big price to get them. If you want to take a look at the price when and where you watch this, take a look at the top links in the description down below for each of these headsets. That'll hopefully take you to your local Amazon store and you can better understand the pricing for you. Also, if you want to support the channel and keep me making these videos on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and actually now Saturday basis, then take a look at the Patreon link in the description down below where you can support me directly, or Amazon and Overclockers UK affiliate links where you can help me out there too. If you're new to the channel and you want to know, see more videos, feel free to hit that subscribe button for, as I said, more videos pretty regularly, and there will be some others over here for you to take a look at too. That's pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and otherwise, thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.